I've been having this thing where I don't like the names that they give us. You know, I don't like truther or awake, or even, you know, some of these labels of like religions and stuff. I don't go for any of those. On one stream, Brian, he called himself a critical thinker. So with that in mind, we were trying to come up with something, and I thought I'd ask you guys. So what do you think about for either hat or shirt or some idea like this? So the basic idea is we call ourselves critical listeners, learners, and thinkers. And then we could have some kind of logo.
We're gonna call ourselves a bunch of clicks.
Stealing Batman. You got a logo for it.
Yeah, and see, like there's a person inside like the firmament. I don't know, it's in progress.
Is that what it is?
Vagina.
No.
Vagina. The clit.
Oh wow. Wow.
Never mind.
It's time to go down the rabbit hole. The ceiling fan man. You dig?
Crank up the music. Keep an eye on the back.
This presentation is provided to you to amuse or entertain and not to conform or inform. The content on this channel should not be used to replace professional, financial, medical, or legal advice. All footage taken and used from public sources falls under the fair use of the Digital Millennial Copyright Act of 1998. Therefore, no breach of privacy or copyright has been committed. This show is substantially sourced, not affiliated with any community, club, fraternity, or gang. Your cat may vary.
crazy man walks into a psychiatrist's office. He's completely naked and wrapped up in saran wrap. As he walks in, the psychiatrist takes one look at him and says, "Wow, I can clearly see your nuts."
Satellite tracking continues.
Wow. Wow. We did it again. Bless you. We did it again. Another Friday. Whoop, whoop. Bless you, too. Bless you all. Bless everyone. Thank you for being here and spending time with me. I'm still not sure why you do it, other than, where is that guy? There's other than this. I can't even find the damn thing there.
I got nowhere else to go. I got nowhere else to go.
Hey, everyone. So, yeah, I know that's why I'm here. I'm still not sure why you're all here, but I'm so glad you are. And so let's have some fun tonight and talk about some stuff, learn some stuff, pray and stuff, and we'll figure this all out and hopefully get our minds off of some of the craziness that's going on out there and look more focus on the stuff that's full of love and stuff. So, okay, where are we at today? Let's see. What do I have here? Dog bumped me right here. So if you wonder, it's not a piece of rice. It's I got hit. And let's see. Where are we at? Hi, everyone. Let's see. So what do I have tonight? I've got a whole bunch of tabs. And the reason I play that some of the stuff, I'm clearing out some of my computer. The computer that I make all these clips and stuff, well, it broke. Well, it just stopped. It started humming and making weird noises and stuff, and it wasn't working properly on the programs. So I took it out, and we had another old one, and it was worse, and it crashed and just blew the screen to death. And so I took the original one out because it's ancient. It has this program called Windows Movie Maker that you can't even play on any other common normal computer, current. It doesn't recognize it as a program. And so I took it apart, blew out all the dust and stuff, tried to clean it up, and I prayed over it. Like, this thing's already had several blue screens of death and it's come back so many times. It's shocking to me. And I know there's channels, Jeff Doherty, and people say, hey, praying is stupid, whatever. But no, for me, I found that power of prayer is a thing. They try to make us feel like we should be embarrassed about it or it's irrelevant or whatever. But hey, I see it working. And so is that computer. It's now working. I was able to do my opening, which I really do believe that was one of my better openings. And yes, so for now, I was able to do that and put together. There's a thing I haven't been able to do much with Food and Sarah. We've been doing a lot of sitting our grandchildren, which is wonderful, but it takes up time from other things. And so what I did is I took this video that kind of goes along with what we've discussed tonight, or some of the aspects that we're discussing tonight, that I did a few years ago, I believe, at least a year, maybe two. And but it had the music from Styx. It's copyrighted, so I ended up putting my song, the song I use on it, and then cutting it up, making it a little bit more presentable. So I have that. I'll roll out tonight when everyone needs to pee. And so yeah, so we've got that going. So for now, that computer's working, and I'll keep doing. You'll still have all these drops, because I don't have time.
I haven't got time for this Mickey Mouse bullshit.
Right? We're here to save everyone, right?
Everyone!
Well, at least those that'll listen. So, what is it? You can't lead a horse to water. You can lead a horse to water, and you can't make him drink.
That's very true.
So, okay, I've got warm and cold. Voice sounds good. I think we should get hair's. Hair's all right tonight. And let's see, where should we start? I wanted to talk. That's why I'm wearing this shirt. I used to watch this show, Eat, Sleep, Demo Day, Repeat. Do you guys know what this is? A show was called? I don't even know what the name of the show was. Joanna and Chip Gaines. And they came out of nowhere. And it was right when my wife and I were like no longer watching regular TV, quote, we were watching YouTube. And so we started watching these two. And then, of course, Demo Day was the greatest day. That's when they just took a hammer and just smashed the crap out of stuff. And those two almost made us change like a wall in our house, I swear. Because you get so into it and like, yeah, that's a good idea. And let's get a barn door that slides. Like, how many barn doors have been put in the last 10 years or whatever? They look ridiculous. And a lot of times you can see through them. Like, I saw one, there was one house where my wife was at, and when you sat on the toilet, you could see through the hole of the barn door, where it slides, and you could see people in the living room. So yeah, a great idea on those things. And anyway, so these people showed up out of nowhere, and we were watching, having a good old time. But then this show comes across my desk this week, and where is it? Clickety click. Not that one. Where are they? See, I'm already starting out lost. Where'd they go? Let me find them again. Hang on. Oh, it's that one. Okay. You got to start there. Okay. Got it. All right. Let's see. Clickety click. And I'll do my best to see who's coming in late. Is Melanie even here yet? I don't even know. Is Paul dead? Says Stephanie. Well, look, what's that guy? Oh, come on. Is it Quantum of Consciousness? The guy that does it's all my Beatles and stuff. You want to hear all that stuff? He's got all that covered. But I totally believe in that whole. We can cover that when we get to the Beatle thing, because it was pretty cool. I thought thumbnail. I take some pride in my thumbnails. But yeah, okay. So it's official. Melanie's not here yet. Okay, and barn doors are for barns, right? Yeah, but they got real popular. It's so bizarre. Yeah. So let's see. We got anything else? Oh, you enjoyed Lost? I did like Lost in Space. A lot of people didn't know that one, but I did dig that one. Yeah, that's the robot I used for John Lennon. Yeah, Sage Equate. Thank you. Yes, thank you. And yes, Mike Williams. There we go. Yeah, he does all that. He's got all kinds. I've got his book, or I don't know. I supported the Illuminati families. Might as well support the Truth families when I see. So you can't believe you're awake. I've said that since 2017. I think is when it started for us. No, I understand. You meant for the time zone, because are you one of my Australian friends that's upside down? I forget. I know Red Storm's out there. Good eye, everyone. And yeah, Danger Will Robinson. So he still says that, I believe. That's good. Okay. So where were we doing? What were we talking about? Oh, the Chip and Joanna Gaines. Yeah. And whatever their show was called. And clickety click. Where is it? And here and here. And where to go? That one. No. That one. Whew. Yeah. So that's them. And they here's the thing. If you're following anyone, I mean, you try not to idolize anyone anymore. Once the veil's been opened up and we realize that they're all just regular people and some of them are pretending to be other people, and there's so much going on that you just drop all of that. Like God says in the Bible, like, have no other idols. Like, we got rid of certain idols and then we turned to these idols, or the politicians, or whoever your favorite musician is. And or then you went to YouTubers and said, oh, he's my guy or gal, and everything that they say has got to be the truth, and I won't bother looking into anything. If they tell me not to, I won't. And so we turned into the same thing, like idolizing. And so don't idolize. And including myself. I know it's easy to do with me. I get it. But don't. Like, everything that I talk about, if there's something that piques your interest, please look up, make sure, check me and make sure that I've done my research on it. I feel that I do very qualified research. I have a white coat and degrees and stuff. And so if I they're in gemology, but it's research. And so let me know, talk to me and show me. But you need to look into these things and figure this stuff out and see if I'm telling everything the way that it really is. And so we go to Chip and Joanna Gaines. And so these people, what I was going to say is, you're following anyone, and like these people, they have, I think, what is it, 5 kids, 6 kids, something. What have we got here? At least 4 or whatever, I forget. And they run a business. They have like this, what do you call it? There we go. This is the photo I was looking for. They have this like antique store, where you can buy used furniture and stuff. And they've got this, and they have the farm, and they have the animals, and they have the kids. And like, look, just having 1 kid or 2 kids, that's hard work. Having a farm, that's hard work. Running 2 different businesses and doing this show, and that's impossible. I don't know. They've got to have a mountain of people helping them. And they're anybody that has this amount of viewers, they show you who they're working for. And why am I showing this? Because it seems like it keeps coming up, this relevancy of signs. And if you don't look for the signs, then this whole language and what's happening right around you, you won't see it happening, and you'll be blind to it. And so by showing these things, and for new people, because I have new people showing up all the time, you'll see, why do all the stars, why do all the musicians, why does anyone of any kind of fame always do these same specific hand signs? It's not coincidence. And you can look up these signs and their meanings. And, it always goes down to the occult. And they always say, well, they're artists. They're just doing this as a joke, mocking, right? Or you caught them in a moment where their fingers were doing things. I'm sure you could probably try hard enough to catch me in one of those. But no, this is a constant thing. And it's right in our faces. And we just have to remember this. Or if you're new to it, question it. Look into this yourself. Why does everyone do this? And what's the symbolism behind the one eyes? And why is what's that other thing that they take baths? A lot of them in milk and some in blood. Why? Why does everyone have the same idea? It's art. It's art. It's art. That's such a cop-out. It's just like when you try to explain something other than the scientific method that you were taught. Their answers are always math, volcanoes, or outer space. So it's the same thing. Why is everyone doing this? I don't buy into this. It's not just mocking. There's a secret language going on. And it's right in your faces. And it's all connected. I spend time just finding all these different things and showing how they're connected. But it's really easy to find. And I've discussed this before. and how this is not the Star of David. He didn't have one. It's the Star of Remphan. And you can read the Bible passages where it talks about in the end times, where I believe we exist, that there's going to be people that have this star. They're going to be pretending to be other people, and they're not. They're not who is being talked about. So again, I can continue to talk about this, but all it takes is a little bit of looking into and seeing what's going on and how things are being manipulated to get us to accept certain things and degrade down other things. Let me see. Let me bring this thing up. Because we're discussing lately the new war going on, right? We're still paying for the last war that's still going on, and now we got the new one. And I think it starts, let's see. Let's start with that one. Okay, so go over here. Is my audio okay? Sorry, I feel like I'm kind of low tonight. I'm low. Let's see where to go. Okay. It's not low. I heard the silent wife. She's got plenty of volume. I love you. Oh, shoot. Okay. Here, this one. So this happened.
But I can tell you that we are not targeting anyone else in Gaza but civilians.
Oops. See, you said the quiet thing out loud and the loud thing quiet, I guess. Isn't that how that works? Yeah. But then she does correct herself, sort of.
Hamas is cynically, but rather terrorists, of course.
Of course. Of course. That's what I meant to say. You heard civilians, but it was supposed to be terrorists. Just, we'll do it in post-edit, right? Yeah. Yeah. So let's see how the war is going. Oh, okay. Well, this got out of order, but we got a 33 in here, which was nice. So while everyone's worrying about, the other side of the world, for the first time now, anti-Asian hate has now dropped 33%. So that's something to celebrate. This one. When I first heard this story, I reported on it. I think it was last year, and I thought it was a joke, but it's not. Marvel has a movie coming out. It's supposed to come out, I believe, next year. It's Captain America / New World Order. It's right there on the screen. And the main new superhero is Sabra. I think that's how you say it. And that's her costume. I'm not making this up, okay? And so now they're a little confused because the timing's a little off with the war going on, right? So, but this is actually coming out. And what I find interesting is, we've discussed this on this channel so many times. All movies, all music, all TV, all of that programming, all that stuff, it's there for a reason. It's there to program. It's there to acclimate you to things. It's there to help you accept things in your life. It's a way of, some people say mind control, but it's just a way of subliminally starting to send messages to you on where they want society to go. And so what happens is you've got a situation like this. It starts as children. This just didn't just happen for this episode. This character was created in 1980 in The Incredible Hulk. And the thing is it's a propaganda machine. All of these things. The fact that they're entertaining, that's the plus. That's the draw. That's what gets you to grab it and want to investigate it, watch it, listen to it, love it, play it again and again, watch it again and again. Meanwhile, little subtle things go through, like this comic book that it says here, this is how Arabs are presented in the first appearance. The word Palestine is never used, and an Arab child in the comic who is an illiterate liar and a thief is killed by a black-veiled bomber, and Sabra then cries over them. And so when you look at this, it shows, see, this is the cover. Look what she says. It's taken the Hulk to make her see this dead Arab boy as a human being. You see? And what they're saying now is they're talking about the Hamas people as animals. They want to eradicate him. They want to just, and the whole thing's so confusing. And you literally can't talk about it very well on YouTube. And you definitely can't take a side. But if you don't talk about it, well, I've had people tell me their silence was deafening because they weren't even talking about it. So you end up taking us. Do you see? It's another way to make us fight again. Everyone got bored with the one that was going on with the yellow and blue and the what is it? The sickle and the bear guy, right? They got bored with that one. So then they came up, there's got this one going on now. And now which side do you choose? But we have to step out of it. We have to say, look, we don't agree with the war, period. We don't agree with either side, whatever casualties, whatever damage is being inflicted. Obviously, it would be beautiful if they could all just stop and we can just figure this out. But the problem is they stir up people with events to get us to, quote, hate each other. So then when the government says, well, we're ready to go bomb and kill these people, the people get behind it and say, well, yeah, because look what they've done to us. And meanwhile, on the other side, you're hearing the opposite. I mean, this is total propaganda, I believe, this comic book. I don't know how you can't see it that way. And so we live in a country where we're told that we're free, and all the other countries are doing propaganda, and thank God we don't live there. And yet, checking the Smith-Mund Act, the government's allowed to lie to you, and they're proud of it. And the only caveat is they have to do it so ridiculous, and you still have to accept it, that you've given up your free will. Then they can do whatever they want. And if you look at the last 3 years of what went down in the United States and all over the world, basically, what did, quote, they do to you? Nothing. They talked to you on the televised vision. They put out reports and stuff. They said all this stuff was going on, and they encouraged you through mandates, because that's not a law. A mandate's usually when two guys go to lunch, and not necessarily for fun, just, because they're friends. But no, it's not a law. But everyone just went ahead and complied, and look where it happened. And so we're at a situation to where we have to see these things for what they are. Now, whatever's going on in Ukraine, whatever's going on in Israel, whatever's going on in these countries, we ourselves are powerless to stop it. You can send money if you feel urged to do that to help people. But unless you're going to go pick up a gun and head off to that war, you can't do anything about it. And someone told me a long time ago that if you have two problems and then you worry about, or excuse me, messed it up. Fix that in post-edit. If you have a problem and then you worry about it, now you have two problems. And so we need to send encouragement. We need to, if you want to do whatever you feel in your heart you want to do to help the people that are in pain there. But as far as fighting with people, on social media, whether it's Facebook or Twitter or whatever, that's just the machine getting you to react. And then the matrix, whatever you want to call it, is watching your reactions and putting those into algorithms. And if you don't believe me, it's so easy to look into all of that. I believe we're already plugged in, like in that movie, The Matrix. I just heard this the other day, And I'm sure a lot of people have already heard of this, but this was news to me. Have you all heard about this, the dead internet theory, where they're saying this is, of course, a conspiracy, that the internet now consists mostly of bot activity. And so the idea is this, that we were on the quote internet, and then say like in 2012, when the Mayans with the N, which no longer exists, now they're just the Mayas, there's no N. During that end, we shifted and they took us, say, if we're on a matrix, from the old one onto the new one. And here we are, the dead internet. And so it's whatever the smattering of human life that lives on this planet, and the rest of it is all just bots to make us fight each other, or to make us choose sides, or to influence us in whatever way that they want to. I mean, it's an interesting theory, and I've said it many times. We have these apps. There's this one that my wife gets kicked off all the time, Nextdoor, for speaking her mind. They don't allow that there. But there's people in there, I swear. You could just say something like, it's best to mow your grass, on this certain day in spring. And then they'll be attacked for that. Like, oh, no, you should wait longer because then you'll have more bugs that the birds can eat and you're killing the bird. It's just like anything you can say, anything. The sky is blue. Well, actually, no. And they'll just fight and start a thing, no matter what the subject is. And so I totally believe this is a very viable theory. I'm going to put it on the shelf as a possibility because, I've seen weird matrix glitches. I know some other people have, things that have happened more than once, like in the movie, but hey, that's for another show. But I thought this was interesting, the dead internet theory. So let's go back to this. Let's see what's going on in the White House.
You turn on the television.
Yeah.
And there's not a whole lot about boy saves dog as he swims in the lake,
What?
To say, it's about, somebody pushed the dog in the lake.
Okay.
I mean, I get it, but
did the dog ever get out? Damn it. What happened? Who pushed it in? Okay. Well, maybe we'll find out next week on This Is Crazy. Okay, next. What do we have here? Yeah, I don't know. Juan Truth. What? I don't know. The story didn't make, I don't know. I got lost in the story and then he didn't end it. He ended it in his own head. I don't know. What's next? Oh, I thought this was interesting. Okay, guys, gals, couches. Do you remember when they had that thing, the dresses? Like, what color was it? You got, what was it, a blue dress or a white and yellow dress or something like that? And then they had the one that I think is like Brainstorm and Mind Freeze, or I don't know, something like that. And so this came across, and I just find these things fascinating.
Recording of people chanting, "That is embarrassing," 4 times. After the 4th time, write down what you hear.
Okay. Are we all on board? Plus I have to pause it for, dramatic effect and also whatever possible copyrights. So, Melanie's finally here. We'll have to hit up the tardy thing in a minute. We're done screen sharing. Okay, so what do we have here?
Interesting. Almost everyone here heard that is embarrassing.
Hopefully that's out. We heard in the chat. Were you able to hear it? So, yeah, that was it. Credit should be Green Needle. Yeah, was the other one. But this was, I heard, and the audience there hears, that's embarrassing. That is embarrassing. Okay. All right. Ben says, yep. All right. So now check this out.
Listen again and watch the screen. You heard the same thing every single time.
Now, my wife still only heard what was said that is embarrassing. Okay. Me, because obviously I'm much lower IQ, whatever I saw on the screen, I could hear it. I don't know if anyone else had that. Mac couldn't tell. Hi, Mac. Pants on the ground says the whole crowd's chanting with an accent. Yeah, that is no, that was the video. He's playing some people singing that. It wasn't the audience. Get a belt. No, good to see you. And then what else we got? Oh, come on, Rethink. Get in the game, Rethink. Let's see. Yeah, okay. Red Storm could hear all of them. Okay. And Ben only heard, only the one. Okay. Mac heard the words that was on the screen. So could Mr. Beast fans. So yeah, isn't that wow? I found that really interesting. Excuse me, about to cough. Okay. So, and if anybody wants to play that on someone or at home, let's see, copy link. You guys are over here. Excuse me. Put that in there. And if anyone is sitting over on Ceiling Fan Man 2, please come over to Ceiling Fan Man 1. The reason that I had to fire that one up today is they're trying to mess with it and get rid of it. So I have to do more over on it. So I thought I'd run the show over there. But the chat is either here or on Rockfin. And over currently on Rockfin, I have 11 wonderful people there. And I spammed the thing at the beginning by accident. It wasn't registering. But Flat Earth Cat, Jason Talbot, and Post Void is over there. And a few others. So yes, thank you for being over there. And thank you, Heather. She gives me a token of appreciation every week over there. Okay, what do we have? Yeah, Melanie just freaking shows up. And what does she immediately ask? Can anyone hear her?
I don't feel dirty. I don't feel dirty.
Yep. Oh, Jenny's watching on both. Nice. Love it. So, okay. So what else do we have here? All right. Oh, and Averbilly's here. Who else? I missed it. Aaron is here. And who else? I think that's Crunchy Bee. What do you got? Mod Green should be here in a minute. Monda, I'm not sure what that is. Monda Green. Is that what we're playing? I didn't mean the bit. I do have Mandela things we could talk about. Yeah. Let's see. For those of you that believe in the Mandela effect. But the name of this show tonight, I called it The Song That Never Ends. And because I have children, they watched that. What was that one? It was the Sherry Lewis show. I think it was the name of it. And with Lamb Chop. And at the end of every episode, she would sing this. This is the song that never ends. It goes on and on, my friend. Right? We all know it. If you had children, you heard this thing. Just like all of these people wrote. And just like this cat remembers.
This is a song that never ends. Yes, it goes on and on, my friend.
Okay. The cat remembers it the right way. These people, they wrote a kind of a funny skit called The Song That Never Ends. And they're playing the song.
Come here, take a look what
he plays the song for his friend, and then he keeps hearing it throughout the day. Okay, but the problem is, the reason that we're having an issue with this, at least I am, is that even this one, which has 1.5 million views, called The Song That Never Ends. Oh, where's my person? I need to do this. Got to go down here. Hi, everybody. Got to go all the way to the bottom and get this.
Someone should get fired over this, right?
Of course, now I have to find it again. We're over here. Now we got the cat. Okay. This one. It's never been called The Song That Never Ends.
This is the song that doesn't end.
Wait, what? It's always been called The Song That Doesn't End. Okay. except the video that has 1.5 million views that's called The Song That Never Ends. Or these guys that made a parody called The Song That Never Ends. Or the cat that says it. Or all these people. Okay. We're all just dumb, misremembering the same thing.
That doesn't end.
Yeah, okay. What do I say to that? Well, wherever my guy is.
That was someone's getting fired, is what that was.
Right? There's your Mandela effect section. Although we might have more. That stuff pops up all the time. Literally. It's like you can't avoid it. Let's see. And here, I don't know, whoever was discussing Mandela in there, I'll ask a question then. Here's one that struck me as odd. Because like I've told you, I read the Bible all the time. And we did a little Bible study, just our family, a few of us. And in that, I read a passage, which, I've read the Bible multiple times, and I read it a lot, all the time. And this is the first time I remember hearing, and I could be completely wrong, but for me, this was shocking because, where is it? Clickety click. Because I've always heard the word infidel associated more with the Quran and stuff. And God talks about heathens. God talks about unbelievers. Lots of things. But infidel was, to me, kind of shocking. So then I did my look into it like I do. And so far, it's there twice. In 2 Corinthians 6:15. And I remember this as unbeliever. And the same thing here, 1 Timothy 5:8. So I don't know. Again, I don't know how that does work, if it's happening. It might not have happened to this. The entire audience could right now say, remember it having infidel in there. But for me, it was different. So I'll bring it up, throw it out there, and see if anything sticks. Okay, infidel. So, and then someone sent me this. Now, I only use the KJV just because that's what I have studied, and I'm comfortable with it. But for those of you that use other ones, I understand the KJV's already been messed with. I get it. But supposedly for, the English versions, that's the closest I can find to original text. So I work off of that. But then this is for the some of the other Bibles. This particular one, I think, is the NASB, New American something. And it's missing Matthew 17:21. And why that's important is he's talking about, it says, because of the littleness of your faith, for truly, this is Jesus speaking, for truly I say to you, if you have faith the size of a mustard seed, you will say to this mountain, move from here to there, and it'll move, and nothing will be impossible to you. The part that's missing is, but this kind does not go out except by prayer and fasting. And without that line, see, what we have to remember is this. There's a fight going on we're split. We have a spiritual side, and then we have the I don't know, what's the word? The the body, there's the body, and then there's the spirit, the flesh. That's a better Bible sounding word. So you've got the flesh and you got the spirit, and they're at battle all the time. That's the whole thing going all the way back to Genesis. And so the more, this is the teachings that I'm understanding, the more you starve the flesh or the desires of the flesh, the more you get filled in with a space for more spirituality. And so by fasting, you're having less going on in your system and more time for prayer, more time to seek enlightenment, whatever you want to call it. But you'll have more time because you basically, here's the whole idea behind sacrifices back in the Bible. Because it's like you read that and they go and they kill a goat and they burn it, or a calf or whatever. And it's like, What the heck? God wants to sit up there going, yes, burn more flesh. No, the whole idea behind it is, because Adam started it. Just remember, it all goes back to those two, Adam and Eve messed, hey, we're dealing with the same mess from the beginning. All right. But here's what you do. If you take something that's important to you, you can't give God anything. He gave it all to you, right? You can't do anything for him. But what you can do is you can give him your time, you can give him your love, your attention, like any good relationship. You have to nurture it. You have to be there for the other person. He's there for you, and we ignore him. And the other thing is, it's something that's important to you. It's usually the best calf or whatever you had. When it was Cain and Abel, and Cain, of course, the vegetarian, right? He just kidding. He didn't bring the perfect offering, like the best crops. He brought like yesterday's stuff that was heading off to like the, what do you call it, the help center, right? For the grocery stores, give out that's the stuff he was played out. Whereas Abel, he brought his prized possession. Why? Because if you sacrificed whatever this prized possession of yours was to God, and you got nothing out of it, you got no meat, you got no money, you got nothing from it, you burned it up, you literally burned it up in prayer to God. It was a symbol, it was a sign, it was like saying, hey, I love you and what you do so much that I can't do anything but to show you. I would even burn up my prized possession to show you how much I appreciate what's going on. And that's what the whole idea behind sacrifice, in my mind, is. And so when you get to, what are we even talking about anymore? We were discussing, hang on, I had a tab, which will remind me, I believe. Let's see, maybe I don't. Okay, where were we? I got lost. Hang on. I must have got lost somewhere down the line. Jay Giles. What are we talking about? Where's my chat? You guys awake? What's going on over there? Mel is a badass, and this isn't helping. Mel is a badass. People are betting on money. I don't know what's going on here. All right, nobody help me here. All right, what do we got here? We were discussing some really interesting stuff. I totally lost my train of thought. No one's listening. Of course, you're in the past. And Dustin Parker, yeah. You're not a fan of the Beatles. I was a long time. They were some of my favorite handlers. But yeah, we'll go over that. And we were talking about sacrifices, and I know we were doing a sacrifice thing and why we were doing it. But then I got off on the whole train of Cain and Abel and lost where I was heading. So we'll have to circle back. Yeah. All right. Yeah, of course. I knew you were goofing. Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. We'll circle back to it. I'll know we'll get there. I'll know we'll find it. We'll find our way again. We'll find our way back. Okay. So let's see. Instead, let's go here. We covered that already, and that. Where's my... Why don't we go here? We'll go to that one. Okay, so we'll go here, and then eventually we'll circle back. Yeah, the old circle back routine. Exact. Yeah, exactly. He knows my heart, so he knows the rest of the sentence. He'll fill it in for you all. No, it will come to me. But in the meantime, I'm not going to sit here because I hate dead air. I hate dead air on other shows, and I definitely hate it on this one. So we're back in. Let's see. We want to go for my Australian friends. This is how people think Australia looks like. And then this is actually what it looks like. See, you get this joke. It's a joke, right? Where's my guy? He's around here somewhere. That guy. Hey, all right. Good eye. What's next? Oh, I thought this was really interesting. So, many popular television shows, they joked about things like measles and stuff. Yeah, of course, Brady Bunch. Flintstones, Donna Reed, they all had things about it, slapstick and comedy. But when you look at it now and how they talk about these subjects, it's like it really is now and then, right? Like the Beatles' new song, his new song.
This is the life, isn't it? Yeah. If you have to get sick, sure can't beat the measles.
Okay, now remember, everyone, this is old televised vision. They're not doctors. It's a TV show, just like this one. Don't get all weird on my YouTube and get all weird. I'm just showing what happened back in the day when everyone was stupid, right?
That's right. No medicine. Inside or out. Like shots, I mean. Don't even mention shots. Yeah.
Measles. Well, all the kids have now had the measles.
So have I.
Well, I had them years ago. Looks like the Bradys are finished with the measles.
Nice, right? That's the way it used to run in our house, too. I mean, and in most of the houses back then.
Hold it. How do you feel?
I'm fine. Dad says I should go to school.
7 students.
I love Oh, no. What does he have? Typhoid Mary's flu? What is it?
Confirmed with measles. 4
Oh, it's measles. Wait, the Bradys were just excited about their kids had measles. They had no idea how deadly. This is scary.
It's possible. How? They had to have been vaccinated.
Oh, a deadly outbreak. Oh, God. Did you hear the drum?
Moms never vaccinated their kids and lied about it.
Oh, no, they lied about it. It's a controversial belief. It sure is. It sure is.
Vaccines are harmful. You are endangering the health of every child in this city.
Whoa. You see what's going on? The difference, the juxtaposition between then and now. Now and then, as the Beatles say. So there we go. What's this? For our cat lovers. If you're a cat lover or have a cat, you'll understand this 100%. There's no sound. But man, what a paradise for any cat, right? Multiple options. Look at that thing. Right? If you know, you know. Okay, what's next? Oh, then there's this guy. You know how much I love him.
These conspiracy theories have turned out to be true.
Which ones?
The Trump-Russia witch hunt, Jeffrey Epstein, JFK assassination, the misuse of the Patriot Act, the Iraq War, the weapons of mass destruction, the war in Ukraine, the bombing of the Nord Stream pipeline, the open border migration caravans, the climate change scam, chemtrails, and HARP, and 9/11 being an inside job, and the Internet of Things surveillance grid, and PFAs, and chemicals in the water turning everyone gay, and the 2020 election being stolen, and January 6th being filled with undercover feds, and Bilderberg and Bohemian Grove, and global government, not to mention gain-of-function research and the threat of China, and collapsing birth rates, and defund the police, and George Soros, and mail-in ballots, and big tech censorship, and disinformation agencies, and Obama's birth certificate, and probably some others I can't think of. I mean, so a few of them. I guess a couple of them have been true.
All right. Moving on. What's next? Oh, going back to our signs and symbols. I thought this was interesting. You could even find them in paintings. This is and this article talks about it, about how it's no accident. It's also very close to what Spock does on Star Trek, but it's a Masonic hand sign. And it's in all these paintings. Look at this one. It's supposedly supposed to be Jesus. He's doing it, right? There's no accident that they painted him that way. They're all the same. Martin Luther, right? And even God, they got his hand doing on the Sistine Chapel. So, again, you got to keep an eye out for this stuff. There are no coincidences. In my mind, there are no experts, right? Juan Truth. So, yeah. So I thought there was, oh, look, there's a statue. Is that it? Oh, wow, that one goes way back. Who's this? Portrait of Saint Ignatius of Loyola, 1491 to 1556. Either they're not sure when that was painted, or it took this guy a long freaking time to paint that. Just saying. All right, what's next? I think that's it. We're done with that. Let's get out of here and see what's up. Oh, we got to get rid of that. There we go. Okay, so kill that. Oh, and for those of you, the big game is coming up, and they are fun. I'll tell you, the athletes are amazing, but we've got to stop kidding ourselves that it's not some type of tomfoolery going on. I covered this. There's a company you can look online where they sell these gloves that you can have these magnetized balls. And, oh, thanks. And like this.
Here it is, 100% proof. The NFL is rigged, and they use magnetic gloves and magnetic balls to make these one-handed catches.
See that? Either that or he had some glue stuck on his glove. But no, I've covered.
Told you so. I told you so.
I don't know who that guy is yelling at us. Let me turn him down. But yeah, see, this was what I saw. This is a company. Low battery. Oh, that's on the video. And I did that on air. Tried to close that. That's funny. Okay. Well, I was trying to use a better word than embarrassing, Silent Wife. But yeah, these gloves will catch it no matter what you do. So, and the fact that that glove wouldn't let go because it was malfunctioning, I guess. So, you can find all this on the internet, like everything else. So, just I wouldn't do a lot of like high betting on it. That's all I'm saying. Unless you have a friend in the know that usually has like a crooked nose or something. Okay. Oh, and this is one of my favorite things that I found. This guy, what's his name? Let me look. Well, I don't know. Oh, everyone's on TikTok. Alex Conception. See him? And what he did was, or someone, this guy, he takes these videos that everyone's dancing and twerking and all that stuff, military and nurses and everywhere now. And he takes out the sound and he just adds in like what you would normally hear, like foot squeaking noises. And then he inserts himself like he's trying to like be waited on. I stop laughing at this. He's trying to survive. Come on. I can't be the only one finding this hilarious. I have to be not alone in this. And this is, I think, one of the reasons my wife doesn't like musicals. Because it makes no sense. Like the story's going along and suddenly everyone's just doing this and everyone's okay with it, right? But no, it'd be more like that. That's when she's like, God, what is going on? What is that? Waiting for his ride. Here he's trying to buy a car. Cup of coffee. Anyways. Okay. In fact, there's a really good one of those. You can find that on the internet. Somebody took the one Spider-Man that like killed the franchise for a while was the one where Tobey Maguire was evil. And there's a scene in that where he suddenly thinks he's cool, Tobey Maguire, and he gets his hair all slicked back and he's wearing like black jacket like he's in Greece, and he's doing this dance to I think it's Staying Alive. And it was horrific in the movie the way it was. Just horrific. But then somebody on the internet, you can find it. They took out all the music and they just put in street noise and him grunting and stuff. And it's just, I don't know, makes me really laugh. But yeah, anyways, hopefully you all enjoyed that. Yeah. It's what you want your bus driver to start twerking. Exactly. Yes. So, yeah. Oh, you put the link in, Shapu? Oh, for that one? Okay. I don't know. Is that one copyright? I don't know how all this stuff works. Probably half the stuff I've already played tonight is probably bad, but whatever. Let's enjoy ourselves while we have the moment. Okay, let's see. What else do we have in here? Let me go back up in our screen tabs. Oh, this one was great too. This person dressed up as a gigantic bear, and then sat. I guess it's a Walmart, and then threw pillows at people.
Oh shit! Where'd that come from?
This is what I fill my day with when I'm looking for you all for things on the show. But come on, you can't get better than this. A bear in a cart throwing a pillow at people. Oh my god. And he looked over here because they're obviously kind of, have a camera or something. And he was something was sus. Anyways, I love these things. So, yeah. All right, what's next? Oh, to talk about the main subject matter, I guess, that we have lined up for today. It's about this new song that came out. It's supposedly the Beatles' last song, and where's my thing here? I'll grab that and show you here. Oh, okay. Well, we'll just use the thing that I use for the thumbnail. So we'll bring that up. So apparently, here's the way this works. They haven't squeezed enough money out of the Beatle fans, so they always have to come up with new gimmicks. They'd come out with a song. God, what was it? Maybe, I don't even know. Was it 10 years ago? Somebody knows. Where they had the Beatles and they inserted a track of John, and it was the last Beatles song because he was already dead, supposedly, allegedly. And but now, no, nay. Now we have another last song of the Beatles. That's why I wrote this thing and put the song's called Now and Then, and they call it the last Beatles song. But I added until we make another one, because that's literally what they did. So apparently, the storyline goes that this was in the 70s, right as they're about to break up. They did a song, and hey, you all can decide for yourself. We can decide if you want red team or blue team. But for me, it was garbage. I found nothing in it. It was a demo that was never finished, and there's probably a reason. But what they do, they took the track that had John Lennon that was inaudible to the point where George Harrison, before he was killed, allegedly, supposedly, twice even, they tried to stab him to death, and then he died of like cancer, I believe. But he said that it was such garbage that he didn't want to deal with it because the audio was terrible. So you fast forward to the world of AI, and they're telling people, oh, no, the computer was able to filter out and get his voice. And no, whatever. You don't know. They're just going to tell you that. AI can replicate his voice, and now you're listening to Beatles with AI. I mean, don't even get me started on what they actually did and what they actually wrote and who they were and who's alive and who's dead. Mike Williams covers that, but I could go on for hours on that stuff. There's so much shenanigans going on there. But I'm specifically talking about if you accept the Beatles as the group that they say is still running, right? And that Paul's still the real Paul, I guess, not the fake one. If you accept that, then what they're telling you now is they've inserted a computer voice for John Lennon, and you're perfectly okay with that. And of course, all the Beatle fanatics are all like, "Oh, it's amazing! Oh, thank you! I saw it had already racked up like millions of views in like 14 hours, and people were like, I'm so proud to be part of a generation that gets a new Beatles song. Give me a break." Give me a break. They did it once before on the Rarity albums and stuff. They made everyone buy it because they made a new song. They made now this one. They're going to go on. They'll milk this as long as forever, for eternity. How do I know that? Because they're telling us. One of my, where is this? Let me bring this up. Okay, it's on that one. When I was growing up, I got to see, we had a movie channel when I was a kid, so I got to see all these movies. And if it was something I wasn't allowed to see, I'd put a magazine over the recorder so I could record it at night and they wouldn't see. And so I got to watch all kinds of movies. And so this one came out, what was I? I don't know. Well, I was probably in high school at this point. But this movie, most people never heard of. And basically its premise was that they would take models, they would scan them in this computer, kind of like how I described on my episode about the diamonds and how the laser would go and scan it and decide all the flaws and so forth. And depending on what human beings liked, like you could see it in their eyes, they would adjust the actual model's fake avatar to be this perfect person with no flaws to our eyes. But it would look like the model. And this was in the 80s, they're showing us this. And yet, you say that's in the movies, but here's this article that I talked about, a lot of people did, last year, where Bruce Willis signed off on this, to where no matter what condition he's in, or if his characters died, they can continue making movies and commercials and whatever with his likeness, like they did in this Russian thing they did 2 years ago, where he's on this boat. This isn't him. This is an AI Bruce Willis. So the movie that I liked back in the 80s, which was just, sci-fi, it's never going to happen. It's right here. It's happening now. And it goes back to that whole, I did a whole show on holograms with Rose a few years ago. And the technology is right there. It's here now. Let me bring this up here. How do we get out of this? Out of that. Go into here. Where are you? Let's see. Did I get through those? No, I haven't covered that yet. Okay. So let's see. Let me go back into here. Oh, I know where it is. I'll tell you what. Discussing our realities and holograms and things like that. Like we were talking about, the AI and the Matrix and all that stuff. We're into it now to the point where we don't even realize it. We've discussed it on this show, but things can be altered digitally with ease now. Programs you can get for free at your own house, you can alter things. And so now we're witnessing people that aren't where they're supposed to be when they say they're at the White House and they're not. And I was covering this, like I said, I think it was a year or two ago. And I saw it had been more than that, because it was when Trump was still president. And he walked by a bush and he had no shadow. And at one point he had no head. And we were discussing back then about what we're seeing on TV, what's real and what isn't anymore. And of course, I believe pretty much all of it has a lie to it, of course. But it's happening more and more. And what I'll do is I'm going to put on, where'd it go? So this thing that I made a few years ago, showing the holographic world, I guess, that they're presenting to us. And we don't know. Unless you're physically there at the event, you're relying on these machines to tell you what's happening. And I showed it, and I'll look for the video. It's probably still out there. But we had a New Year's last year in Seattle, and the Space Needle on TV had all kinds of crazy like holograms and explosions and stuff going around it. And there was someone that was there, and they took their camera from their television and then pointed it out the window. And none of that was happening. It was only on this machine. And so the people that were witnessing New Year's there, sure, they had some fireworks and they had celebration and they were excited of that. But the people watching it on TV at home, they had a whole other experience. So, and with that, you'll hear my song, the song I play on my opening, but it's clipped up with the video that I made a year ago. So that way we can play it with no copyright issue. And I'm going to refresh my drink, and it'll be just a few minutes and we'll keep on going. I got lots to talk about. So you can hang out and watch it, or you can take this moment. Okay, here we go. What happened? Nothing. Why isn't it working? We'll edit that out. I'm questioning, look, no shadow. Everybody else has a shadow.
CFM, you found something very compelling here.
Where is it? Let me go back.
Oh my goodness.
Where's this shadow? So anybody that wants to say that it's something else, then tell me. I analyze it and let me know, because I'm having trouble. And look, his head phased out. Look at that.
That dude's not there.
See that? So you tell me what's going on.
The only logical explanation is that this is technology and that this doesn't go by the laws of lighting, and you can just compare it to the rest of the people. It doesn't mean he's like a demon entity. It just means that he wasn't there.
He wasn't at this particular walkthrough. It was fake. I mean, whatever. Somebody explain it to me if I'm wrong, but why does his head phase out like the NASA people? That leg's missing. Doesn't even look like he has feet, actually. There's no head, there's no leg, and there's no feet. But other than that, it's just normal, right?
Poof, he's gone. Did you see that? And okay, I'm going to show you something. So first frame right there. So he's there. Next frame, he's at 50% opacity. And then the next frame, click, he's gone.
So this is like an interactive hologram situation. I would absolutely love this. I mean, it looks like so much fun, but it's just getting us used to being in an artificial system. I mean, I need to be, honestly, my soul gets so excited when I am out in nature and I see a beautiful flower blooming. I mean, it just fills my heart with joy, and I am just basking in the majesty of nature. And I want to be, that's where I want to be in this world.
Satellite tracking continues.
Okay. So there we go. Twofer. You got to hear my song twice. Yay. So, okay. What do we got here? Let's see. Yeah, it's all fake. It's all fake. So, okay. Let's see. Let me clear some more of this here. Oh, and as long as we're on the Beatles, let's see. We'll go to that one. Let's see. Cover those maybe another time. Okay, we got that done. And we got rid of that. Okay. Clearing through some of these tabs. Okay. What have we got going on here? Let's see. Let's see. Where are we at? Okay. All right. Let's go on to clickety click. We'll go here. Whoops. Wrong button. Dang it. Let's try this again. All right. Figured it out. Just took me a little bit. Well, I didn't want that one. All right, whatever. But hey, this is check out the ancient technology. I mean, it's a possibility. To me, this seems more plausible that they had some type of energy weapon. That's what the military would call it, but some type of energy wave that would carve into these. Not like they tell us. Not like they tell us. We've covered many shows, Jen and Shapu and with Steve, about how all of these, the Antiquitech and so forth. And so we're catching up to the old technology is the way it shows. So I thought that was interesting, but I wasn't looking for that one. I was looking for, or that one either. All right, what's this one? Might as well clear them out of here.
If you work backwards from that and you look at the number of blocks that are involved and 2.5 million blocks of stone, you're talking across 25 years, you have to have one block finished, cut, transported, put in place, perfectly aligned, all of that. One block every 5 minutes. For 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, for 25 years to build that structure in 25 years. Now, that doesn't take into account the tremendous amount of foundational work that has to go into this structure. Yusuf and I, we go to great pains to show people when you're walking around the pyramid, the tendency is to look up at this thing and go, man, that thing's amazing. But what you should also is look down at your feet, because at the feet, there was probably years and years of work in terms of leveling the ground. In some places, they put in these gigantic floor tiles that are the foundation blocks for the pyramid. Some of these weigh in excess of 200 tons, and they're fit together with precision. It's like a block that locks into the bedrock, and the other blocks around them, you can't fit a razor blade in between the gaps, which is something you see on pretty much all of this pyramid architecture, which is utterly remarkable. That figure of one block every 5 minutes doesn't account for all of the other.
So anyways, interesting, right? And he was an Aussie, it sounds like, to my Australian friends. But yes. And hopefully we can keep that video in. Who knows? Some people like their work being highlighted and others don't. And then this is just another example of Lichtenberg. And my idea, along with others, is that if, let's say, revelation happened and some event with a lot of heat happened, you see this stuff. You see it everywhere, and it's an interesting theory. And we can't prove either side, but we can see some things that make us at least question it. And that's all I ask. Question everything. Well, don't say that because that's a red flag now. So we go to this. Back to the signs and symbols. Now, this was a very controversial album. They call it the Butcher album. And they pulled it from the market for obvious reasons. And they turned it into this where they stuck Paul in this suitcase. But, it's like they were testing. I believe this is a test to see how far society has gotten. Is this acceptable yet? It was like a toe in the water. And it turned out, no, there was a pushback. Nowadays, there's already been multiple covers like this. Nowadays, anything goes. Some of the stuff that you see on album covers now, this is tame at this point. And so this was a Marco Polo, right? Or whatever. What was the other one? The Mark Twain, right? This was a marker. They wanted to see where they were at. They took a test with the society, and they wasn't ready for it yet. They're ready now, ripe for harvest. And if you want to look into this, but there's a whole thing. And if you go on the Abbey Road cover, there's the white VW Bug, and it says 28 because if he had lived, he would have been 28. He was out for a joyride in I think it was 64, was it? Or 66? And of course, probably 66. And he got in a car wreck and he lost his head. They even say it's in some songs, but he died supposedly, allegedly. And then they put in fake Fall and Billy Campbell, I think, or whatever. And he, again, watch Mike Williams. He does a whole breakdown on it. But here's the thing. Whatever the person is that's Paul McCartney, the character of Paul McCartney, if he died, then the character, the person that was playing that original character, most likely, I covered this years ago. He's this guy that is, I don't know if he's still there, but he was the guy that was caretaking the real, quote, real Paul McCartney's old house. And most people just said, hey, this is Paul McCartney hiding out. Oh, no. Whatever that is. Everything has ads now. Okay. So how do we get rid of that? We'll get rid of that. We'll play the stupid ad. Clickety click. Where'd it go? YouTube, you're ruining my show. We still have sound. Okay. Ads ending. Because that was Disney. You don't want to mess with Disney. They'll do anything to you. So. All right. And we're back. What a joke. You know what? And not that I've been doing it for forever, but I've done it enough years that YouTube was way easier to navigate. You have to dance around so many things and still get tagged. Like I said, what was it, the last week's show or the one before that? They demonetize. They just decide. And so you put in all that work in 4 hours, and then you don't even get the shekels they promised you. So this isn't a beg for money, but hey, there is a Cash App, Ko-fi, all that stuff. If you're finding some interest. And if you're liking this show, please like, share, and subscribe. It supposedly helps the algorithm. Who knows? Anyways, back to what we were doing before we were rudely interrupted. Go on here, and here, and here. I think it was this tab. Yeah. So to me, that's just Paul McCartney if he was hiding out. Oh, there's no volume now.
They haven't got a tag. But then about a month later, got an agent reminder. Well, the best name I'd like to think I've got to tell you that no license.
So a lot of people have covered this. It's super obvious to me that they do this. They kill off the characters, not necessarily the person. The most famous one is David Bowie, where he said he was going to do this hoax. And then he did this whole album. Well, where'd it go? Maybe it's on here. Oh, and then he did this thing with Jack Stevens. So David Bowie dies. And this music critic, Jack Stevens, goes on air, but he doesn't look like this. He looks like this. Basically, he looks like David Bowie talking about the death of David Bowie on this station.
David Bowie and his influence. Let's bring in Jack Stephen. He is director of Fortune Music.
I mean, come on, it's David Bowie. Let's see.
Fortress music.
Fortress music.
Yes.
Do beg your pardon,
never
Jack.
mind.
Fortress music and work.
And when you look at his teeth when he smiles, Jack Stevens has a very specific. Now you could say, "Oh, well, he got veneers or something," but his mouth is different than David Bowie's.
Saying, "Thank God there's finally an A&R man with ears at RCA."
So you guys can do your own. He looks like a shapeshifter now, but you could do your own research on this. But yeah, Jack Stevens. I don't know if I can make this larger. That's what she said. His teeth are different. And if you watch this video, it's still online. You can see there's a big difference. So. And he said he was going to do it. What was the other one? Prince. They all throw these things out there. And so it's just a way of killing off their character. His last album, I think, wasn't it? Let's see, it's on here, I think. Lazarus or something. The guy that comes back from the dead, right? And it had all kinds of occultic symbols and stuff in it, apparently. Because, you know, they're always into that. Here's his Aleister Crowley that he mimicked in the inner sleeve, they say. Space Odyssey. Of course, he did the Ziggy Stardust with the one eye and the androgyny, right? And then you just go on and on and on. Oh, that looks familiar again, like I said. It's all occultic. Here he is drawing that symbol. Isn't that interesting? Where have we all seen that recently? Yep. And so you got... they have Major Tom, he's dead in the suit and all that, but then where is he? Oh, and then they have the crucified scarecrows. Like, nobody really watched this that I know of. And it came out, like, was it the day he died? And then, yeah, then he goes to Lazarus, and he opens his eyes, or I don't know. Watch the stupid video if you want. But, yeah, so that they just tell us. They let us know in plain sight. I feel it's all fake. It's all a stage, right, Jen? So, okay, what's next? Oh, we're back to the. Let's go into this. We'll get this gal. See, I had another Mandela effect lined up because this needs to be talked about again. It came up again in conversation at our
Someone
house.
should get fired over this, right?
So you've got click here and there, and there and there. Smoky, or I should say smoky. If you still think, if you see a lot of smoke and you want to say, wow, it's smoky in here, you have to spell it with no E. And if you thought there was an E, well, you're just stupid and bad speller and you're mistaken and forgetful and old and you misremembered. Because smoky, like the room is smoky, has never had an E. Neither has the Great Smoky Mountains. I mean, Smoky. So the Great Smoky Mountains have never had an E. And if you remember it that way, or if you happen to live there or in that town near there, and you always thought that they were the Smoky Mountains with an E, you were incorrect. They're the Smoky Mountains. The only time you're allowed to use an E, I hope you're all writing this down, the only time you're allowed to use the E in Smoky, correctly anyways, is with Smokey the Bear, Smokey Bear, because even though he keeps the E, he loses the, and his suspenders. You're also allowed to write Smokey if you say Smokey and the Bandit, like this movie here, with Sally Field with no S, Sally Field. And the reason that there was a Smokey and the Bandit was the hat that the troopers wear reminded truckers of Smokey the Bear. Or Bear, Smokey Bear. No suspender, Smokey Bear. And that's why they used, oh wait, that guy's got it wrong. I don't think he's going to be selling this $54 thing if he thinks this is called Smokey the Bear and he's got red suspenders, because he's never had red suspenders. You're misremembering. They thought the hat that these guys wear was similar. And so that's where you get the word Smokey. Truckers would call these guys Smokies. And you use the E because you're referencing Smokey the Bear, Smokey Bear, no suspenders. That's who you're referencing when you say Smokey. Because if you want to talk about the Smoky Mountains, you have to take it out. Or if the room is full of smoke, you have to take it out. So I hope I've explained this enough to where people understand now how to properly spell the word Smokey. And with that,
That was someone's getting fired. Someone's getting fired. Is what that was.
All right. So get rid of those tabs. Look how many we got cleared with that mess. Oh, well, we forgot this part. My screen sharing. Oh, I was. Look at that. How about this? So Smokey the Bear, from what I understand, started like in the late 40s. And then by 1952, they got this guy, what's his name? Eddie Arnold. And he writes a song and sings it for the Forestry Service. It's called Smokey the Bear, featuring Eddie Arnold. And of course, every time he sings with the kids, I don't know the copyrights on this. Where is it? His song. It's called Smokey the Bear. Back in 1952, he had it wrong, right? Let's see.
Smokey the Bear, prowling and a growling and a sniffing the air.
Right? Smokey the Bear. I want to hear that again. Most replayed is 128, of course.
Smokey the Bear, prowling and a growling and a sniffing the air.
So, yeah. So, Eddie Arnold, you got it wrong. And just saying.
That was someone's getting fired. Is what that was.
So, there you go. 2 Mandela effects in one show. My gosh. We're out of control tonight. That was my very first drop that I made. Okay, screen share. I forgot one. Look, I had more pulled for that, and I didn't even realize it. We're still on that stupid thing. I want to get rid of them. Look at this. Here's a company that's been around for, I think, 10 years. And they wrote this article in 2022. Why is my fire so smoky? And they spelled it wrong. Because see, they're a company. That's all they do is they sell you wood for a specific like wood fire things and stuff. But you know they've been in business successfully for 10 years, and they let this get through. It's a little sus. It's a little sus. Where is that?
Someone should get fired over this, right?
Actually, no, I don't want anybody fired from this company, but come on, people. You got to see that you've spelled this wrong. And then one more. This was this, I watch Hazel Pfeiffer. Occasionally they, whoever they are, have some interesting things. And this is my memory. It's not like this now, of course, the red's on the top. And the thing that bothers me about that is if there's, say, a large truck and it's blocking the bottom part of the traffic light. The way I remember it, like in these pictures, if green's on the top, you go, and then if it's moved down but the truck's in the way, well, you know it's not green. So you're either going to be slowing down or stopping, so you're going to be braking, regardless. But now with red on the top and the reality that we exist in, some people have always seen it that way, but for me it's changed. With red on the top, if it's not there, you don't know if it's yellow or green. You don't know if you're stopping or going. you see it changes things? So this was interesting because they found, or people are sending this person signs that they're finding and traffic lights, and they're telling you where they found them. They're the old way. And signs like that. So I'm not the only one that remembers it this way. A lot of people are putting these signs on upside down. Just saying. Because that one's bolted in. That's not going anywhere unless someone takes it apart. So I thought that was interesting. That's Hazel Fiverr channel. Okay. What's next? To those people that don't believe that there's an incredible design to this system. I can't make this any larger, sorry. But look at that. The nervous system dissected in 1925 over 1,500 hours. Look at that. And I'm sure they broke some of it too. I guarantee it. It's a pretty incredible system we have built into us. What's this one? Okay. This one's great. Now this, the reason I wanted to play this is, first of all, I think it's, well, you'll see why. But you really have to, some people might have seen this and turned it off because we've seen actors go on meltdowns before. I mean, the most famous one is the, what's his name? Who's that Batman guy? Whatever. What's that guy? Batman dude. Christian Bale, right? There's some cursing in this, so just be careful. But it's only a minute long. But listen to what he does here, and then we're going to explain why we're watching it, okay?
Fuck, keep going. I am acting here, and this dickhead wanders onto my set. I can't even get a line out until Dopey the Dick starts whispering in your ear, and you're not even watching anymore.
Dennis.
Don't fucking Dennis me. I am doing my job here. I am a pro. This is the most unprofessional set I have ever been on. This is horse shit. I've got these fucking zombies over here that I have to look at. I have a bunch of pussies staring at me and this fucking baby. This is garbage. Blow me.
Okay. So now all the people that love Dennis Quaid are like all upset at him now. Oh, boo, screw that guy, whatever. Now forget. I'm just talking about the handler, okay, the character. Everybody loves Dennis Quaid in these movies, right? And they're like, come on. But wait, the people that turned off, they didn't see this. This is why I love this clip.
I'm gonna tell them everything that I know. Absolutely everything. I am risking my life. I am risking... What the fuck?
Sorry, Dennis. Let's keep going.
What the fuck? Keep going. I am acting here, and this dickhead wanders onto my set. I can't even get a line out, and Dopey the Dick here is whispering in your ear, and you're not even watching anymore.
Dennis.
Don't you fucking Dennis me. I am doing my job here. I am a pro. This is the most unprofessional set I've ever been on. This is horse shit. I've got these zombies over here that I have to look at. I've got a bunch of pussies staring at me. And this fucking baby.
Fuck you, Quaid.
This is garbage.
Dennis, wait. We can talk it out.
Blow me.
Sorry, I get grumpy when my hair gets flat.
Yeah, I know, Dennis.
Okay. So first off, bravo. Okay. I loved it. Second of all, see what's happening when they had nowhere to act. They went into YouTube. They did all TikTok. They did all this stuff that I do. I was ahead of the curve. So, but yes, that was brilliant. I loved it. So Johnny Cool. Yes, it's a joke. It was totally a joke. Isn't that great? But it's an important lesson about knowing the entire picture, right? And that's the same thing I can transition to the Bible because people take things out of context. And yet, if you put it all together, you'll understand there's a lot of valuable information in that book, and I highly recommend that you check it out. Way to take a Dennis Quaid joke and turn it into a Bible talk. Yeah? Okay. All right. Oh, Jenny, you're laughing. Oh, good. Yeah, show it again. I don't know. It might come down just because I showed it once. This whole show, who knows if you guys will see it past tonight. So enjoy it while it's here. All right. What's next? Let's see. We'll clickety-click here. We'll go here and here. But it's like there's at some point, I can only do so much or not do so much. And at some point, I just have to say, well, I'm going to put a show out there and see where it goes or where it doesn't go. Because you can only tie your hands so much. Okay, for people that still believe we're a spinning ball flying through space, it doesn't explain these brine pools that they're finding underwater.
Are found at the...
Have you heard of these? And again, we've covered this before, but it's so dense because I believe it's all about buoyancy, not gravity, that there's a pool of water within the pool of water. So somehow it's defying gravity. Interesting. Or you could say it's closer to the bottom of the ocean. But see, they find these things. And it's basically what could be one of the things that God says that shoots water out into the ocean. Because, you know, we're supposed to have water that's constantly recycling from somewhere down there. So who knows? But interesting that they're finding these things down there. Because we keep wanting to explore space in the way that they say doesn't exist. Meanwhile, what is it? 80% of the Earth's water is unexplored. And we're too busy watching this stuff and believing everything we see on televised vision. What looks like these guys running, trying to help this person that most likely is dead. And then wait, he's pointing because they have to wait until the camera guy's there so they can get him back in and he can look dead again. But what's that move? What's up with that? So what we're watching on televised vision, who knows where it's being filmed and what we're watching? I don't actually know what's going on at the border and stuff right now. I can only go by what I'm seeing on these machines. And look, these machines lie to me all the time. So it's very difficult to get real information unless you know someone living out there. Someone that you know, not just I heard it from a friend that heard it from a friend, right? Like that song. Oh, okay. And then for this, I'll stop here. All right. How we doing, everybody? We still having fun? Wow. Still got over 100 people here. Thank you. So glad you're all here. So, yeah, exactly. Wait for the camera. Exactly. Right? Right? Where did the flood water go? Because that's the thing. It's still here. Like, right? It just dropped down. And then now this is the area we live on. Maybe. Who knows? The only thing is we can have theories just like they do. But nobody can prove either side. So I'll just stick with what God's telling me more than the science. Okay, where are we at? A fun time indeed. And see how old these computers are. Look, Ben, I don't even know what you're saying, but it looks like you're doing a hand with a pink waving face, blue smiling. I don't know, but thank you. So yeah. Okay, where are we at? Oh, we were going to hit this button because I wanted to get everyone up to date on where to go. It's on here somewhere still. Clickety click. Here we go. I want to get everyone up to date on what's happening in the world of Q.
And now it is time for a dramatic reading
Okay. Y'all ready for this one, guys? Wow, this is epic. So Trump took control of Iran, Iraq, Saudi Arabia. And guess who's been coming over in the boats, guys, and filling every single hotel and military barracks up and down the land in America? England, Ireland, Scotland, and Wales. Iranian, Iraqi, and Saudi military. Or there's Iranian, sorry. Iranian, Iraqi, and Saudi military. That's why there's no women and kids. They're here to round up and arrest all the judges, police officers, politicians, vaccine pushers, celebrities, scum of the earth, Masonic chumps, etc., etc., etc. Oh my effing G. Wow. Just effing wow. Let's effing go. I've got butterflies. Wow. The master chess players are a fucking genius. Wow. Anyway, so that's what's going on in the world of Q. And I'm sorry if you're still following this, but please stop following it. Please do yourself a favor. You've got to stop. Just say no. There's no plan. You've eaten way too much popcorn. No one's coming to save you except Jesus. Just know that it's just another deception. Okay. Meanwhile, there's this guy. He can come back from anything.
Bota na sua cabeça.
Hein?
As dificuldades da vida sempre vão insistir em te derrubar. Mas levante-se e siga em frente. A vida é uma corda bamba, amigo. Ou você mantém o equilíbrio, ou as quedas serão inevitáveis. Chama.
Take fire with my hands. This is stuff I used to do as a kid. I'd do this video, the tape player, just by myself. Thank you all for enjoying my mentalness here. And then, of course, let's hit you up with this if I can find it. Otherwise, we'll stop screen sharing. Where is he? There he is. We'll go here.
This week in the scary space news.
All right, so just China has has landed on Mars. How do I know? Because here's the proof. I mean, come on. You see it right in front of your eyes. That is China landing on Mars. And cue the cheering. Yay! Yay! Anyway, China's on Mars. Fantastic. Meanwhile, dinosaur remains are likely to be found on the moon, scientists claim. And I think this came from Trevor or one of the T's. Sorry, I forget, you guys. I mix you up. Terry. Anyways, the animals which inhabit our planet are likely to have traveled to outer space on the debris caused by the asteroid that wiped them out and may have even reached Mars. So now dinosaurs are found on the moon and possibly Mars because scientists say so. Way to combine all indoctrination in one cool story, most likely written by AI Lennon. That's what I'm calling John Lennon now, AI Lennon. Then you've got this, right in time for Halloween. NASA's Juno mission found an eerie face on Jupiter. These stories. And lastly, James Webb captured this beauty. It's a ring nebula. Just saying. Sweet. Right? Okay. And then I thought it was interesting. Here, let me might as well bring this out again. Where were we? I think we stopped here. So we'll finish these out. Okay. Present. Share screen. Yeah, we stopped on that one, I think. Oh, I just wanted to show again, for those of you still doing this, it is a entry-level Freemason sign. Just so you know. They tell you it's something else, but that's what you're doing. And then, just so you know, the people that are against people that believe we don't live on a spinning ball, they are using one of the leaders of the people that talk about the flat earth as their proof, just so you know. That's what's happening there. What's that? Something was built under the Eiffel Tower. Oh, I don't know how that got in there. I covered that before. This one, can someone explain this picture? And I like what they wrote. The lion chooses sex over food, and the zebra chooses porn over life. That's interesting. That's very biblical. We'll cover that in a minute. Me, am I adopted? Dad, of course. Of course not. Why would we pick you? And then, of course, the dad laughs. And mom, anyways. I just realized the last day of 2023 will be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So everyone let that sink in, right? I guess it's more like the Martin Luther part of the show. But I have all these memes. I got to get rid of them so I can clear out this computer. And I don't want to throw them away. Don't blame technology. And this is a very valid statement because we were oblivious back then and we're oblivious now. Although technology is making it go way faster. The dog was much happier before her. This one, it's a masterpiece. Saving Bandit, a great Scott film. Starring Michael Scott, Oscar Martinez, Dwight Schrute, DreamWorks Pictures. Let's see, anything else funny in there? John Williams, of course, Steven Spielberg. Isn't that great? Love it. Everyone's experienced, at least I have. What's left? Your son can't focus in class. I'm worried about your son. I'm sorry, what'd you say? I find that very amusing. This one I think was my favorite. If Moses had a smartphone, I'm about to split this sea, man. Love it. Love it. In case you think you're working under pressure, there's this photo. And I'm still looking for what, let's see. I don't know much about birds. You can easily identify the husband in this picture. I am not going to say which one it is. And this one. I was eventually connecting to something we said earlier. Every sea in Pacific Ocean is pronounced differently. Isn't that interesting? That's how messed up. Someone mentioned that the English language is so messed up. And there's your proof right there. That word, Pacific Ocean, are the two words there. Every sea is pronounced differently. Isn't that something? Someone is lying. And I found it interesting too. I was going through all these old photos and I came across this. I covered this in 2020 because I was discussing how the debt clock had gone up with the stuff going on in the world. And then I was watching, my wife put on a show today, and it was one of the auditors, Brian, the High Impact Flick guy. And he's discussing this identical thing. Like hours before my show, he picked today, of all days, out of character to discuss this. I just find it fascinating how the ether or however this works, that I had this ready to go from this morning to talk about it tonight, and he brought it up. But in any case, if you look at this, you've got in March 23, 2020, here's our debt, 23 trillion, and your domestic product is 21 trillion, and the unfunded here is, where is it? 132 trillion. Okay. And then you've got a year later, I was showing that, this has gone up, let's see, about 5 trillion. The gross product didn't change very much. In fact, did it go down? Yeah, it went down. And the unfunded went from 132 to 159. And then I looked at it today. And of course, now you're at the lovely number of 33 trillion. This went up, but not exponentially the same as this, because you've gone up like, say, 10, and you've only gained what I think 4 or so, or whatever this was, 6. So net loss of 4 trillion. But here's the kicker: if you look at what I have in 2020, we had unfunded liabilities of 132 trillion. Then it went to 159, and now we're at 211 unfunded. And yet we keep writing more and more blank checks to all these wars in all these countries. I just don't see how you get out of this. I'd love to hear the answer, but interesting. So, oh yeah, there's that nebula again, only turned on its side. They love the look of things. Here, it was all ending with this. This is that pastor that I like to listen to, Vlad. And he said this in his sermon, that Jesus knows your past and calls you by your name. And Satan, he knows your name, but he calls you by your past. And so what we have to remember is, like I said, because of Adam and all this stuff, we were born into sin. It's just the nature of this world. This world was corrupted before we got here. We're all born innocent babies. There's no sin in a baby. But he's born into a world that's covered in sin. And so because of our free will, we have a choice. But at some point in our life, everyone, at some point in our life, everyone sins. And the system that we find ourselves in, that was set up because of the fallen ones, the evil ones, whoever started this mess, Satan himself, the only way that God could reset this is to make that a death sentence. So then by having this, that's what we're talking about, the spirit versus the flesh. By having this split within us, we're surrounded by things that tempt the flesh. Because the more that we fixate on that, the less we'll have time to ever think of the spiritual side. And make no mistake about this. This is a spiritual war. There are things going on that you can't see or know of, but it's happening around you. And you, whoever, can believe or not, but if you dismiss the fact that there's a God, but believe in evil and the devil, you have to accept both. It's like a battery. You have to have the positive and the negative. You have to accept, if you accept that there's evil in the world, it has to be good. And if there's a Satan, there is a God. And it's not just some like thing written about in a book that to control people. Everything has been used to control people. But you can still get information. Every one of these critical listener, learner, and thinker channels that we watch, they all use information from somewhere. It's from a movie, it's from a TV show, it's from a song, it's from a book, it's from an ancient writing. You have to get your information from somewhere. And all of that has been twisted and corrupted in ways to make us not look into the real truth that there is a God and that he knows your name. The hairs on your head are numbered. And that you're not a non-existent speck of dust on a ball flying through space with a bunch of other crazy galaxies and when you disappear and vanish, no one will ever care. The galaxy will never know you were here and gone. The difference is, what I have come to find is the truth, is that no, we're stationary, we're protected, and God's right here and he's listening right now. And if you don't have a relationship with him, it'll be so easy to do. Go into the closet, turn the light off, lock the doors, wherever you can get private time. And take a moment. Don't bring anything there with you. And sit down and talk to him. Pray to him. See what happens. I'd love to hear what your experiences are, because that's what I did. I did it in a way that suddenly I broke down and And he showed himself. And when you read the scriptures, it says he's knocked at the door. He's just waiting for you to talk to him and open it. And so if I can encourage anyone, first of all, I would encourage you to read the Bible before it gets so ridiculous it's hard to read. But if you can't do that, or if you choose not to, then just try having a relationship with God. Start talking to him. You don't have to make it all fancy prayers. Just talk to him. See if he exists. See if he'll answer you back. Because from what I understand and everything that I've experienced in the last few years is that he was just waiting for me. I didn't know he was there. And then I would apologize every time and say, I'm sorry that I didn't, get a hold of you sooner. And then this is how God talks to me. I have the answer in my head. And somehow I just knew that I didn't need to say that anymore. And so it's pretty fascinating.
Are our thoughts our own?
Who, where, what?
Joy asked.
Joy. Are our thoughts our own? Let me look for this here. Okay. Where are we at? I see Mac. Let's see. Thanks very much. Okay, where are we looking? Joy. Oh, here we go. Our thoughts are on. Okay. Yes. Your thoughts are your own. However, two things. You're being listened to. That's just a gimme. God's always with you. And in addition to that, now, since I believe we live in the where is he? The little season, or the short season of Satan, or the little season, wherever my pizza guy went.
Sorry. Pizza.
Like I've said, if you're praying to God, it's like you're talking on the phone and Satan's listening in on the extension. And when you ask God for help on your weak spots, Satan's going to go after those because he's listening too. And so the best that we can do is to continue to pray without ceasing. And if it's really bad, pray and fast. And when I say fast, again, I'm not a medical doctor. You check with your doctor on how you're going to fast and so forth. But there are different types of fasts. You can fast like an entire day, sun up to sundown. That's how the Jews do it on Yom Kippur. Or you can do an intermittent fast. You can wake up and say not eat anything until that. Oh, that's the same thing. But you know what I mean? You can take breaks or just not eat as much as you would normally. That's a fast too. And so there's different ways you can do it. You don't have to go for the 2-day, 3-day, 7-day, whatever. Those you have to work into. I wouldn't advise to just immediately stop eating. Do it over what works for you. But that's why that passage is interesting, that it's missing from a lot of verses, is because there is a power in prayer. And the fact that when you're fasting, or how about this? Forget about food. How about just fast from something? Everyone has an Achilles heel, right? It's food, it's sex, porn, whatever. It's alcohol, it's something. Everyone's got their thing that they just can't break. It's drugs, maybe even, and they can't break away from it. So that's the kind of thing that Jesus is talking about. That's where you should do some type of fast. And so let's say that the thing that your Achilles heel is, I don't know, say it's, I'll pick something innocuous. Say it's like fast food, if that's what you're eating. Then stop for a period of time. If it's weed, stop. If it's alcohol, stop. If it's porn, stop. Whatever it is, pick that thing and go on a fast. And while you're specifically staying away from that, pray on it. Because that's what Jesus is talking about. Those type of demonic attachments will only be released through fasting and prayer. Because I don't care what kind of 12-step, 15-step, 300-step program you're on. If that's your Achilles heel, it'll be there for the end until you die. And if the enemy knows that that's your weakness, that's where it's going to plot. And so that's why I say prayer is vital. It does wonders. And I forget myself. I'm sitting here preaching. I'm starting a podcast where I'm going to start talking about this stuff. And I forget. And it's just because it's so ingrained in us, it's a stronghold in our minds that prayer does nothing. And I'm here to say it does everything. So I think that's everything I wanted to talk about tonight. Oh, and I do have a Patreon, and thank you. There's new subscribers over there. I'm thinking what I'll do is I started a podcast. I've only got an episode recorded so far, and I'm going to put it over there and ask people what their opinions are on that. So, and then eventually I'll get that podcast going. I'll have to do some more episodes. But the computer issues really kind of shut things down for a little bit, but we'll get it up and running. So, other than that, trying to think, is there anything else? I think I covered pretty much everything. And I sure hope everyone enjoyed tonight and got some interesting information out of this. And I No, I can't play the Beatles song. Are you kidding? Yeah, sure, I'll play the Beatles song. No.
No, thank you.
And then for Juan Truth.
There are no experts.
Even fit, but I like it. So, all right. Well, I hope everyone had fun tonight and learned something. So, having said all that, I think I've covered all my tabs. I'm emptying the tank. Can we we'll put a pin in this, and we will plan on doing this again next Friday. I'll see you around the playground somewhere, and thank you all. I really, really appreciate you all for being here. And so yeah, let's do this again. Oh, see, that's how it works. That's how it works. So what seems like a horrible thing, God can use into a good way. So, all right. So yes, we're learning. Great show as always, and peace. Okay, and thank you. All right. Well, I'll play the rest of those on the outro. But once again, thank you all. I really do appreciate you being here. And with that, you get this.
Class is dismissed.
And then we're going to have the saddest song on the internet, some people say. But God willing, let's do this again next week. Thank you again. God bless you all. And I guess let's lead out in a prayer and say, please, Father in heaven, continue to watch over us and guide us through these times more than ever. We need you. Come down, send all the angels. Help us, guide us with love, with care, with patience, and with mercy. We pray that you watch over our family and friends and help them find the truth and open up their hearts and unharden their hearts and open their eyes so they can join us in the joyous, wonderful love that is within you. In Jesus' name, amen. Okay. Now you get the saddest song on the internet. Good night, everyone. I love you.